Bang! Neevesknives. I'm Jared, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. A little early today. Well, a lot early today. Normally, we'd be going live at 7:30 p.m. Central Time, just like every Wednesday and Saturday. But I have my nephew's birthday party today, so we're doing it a little early. Around it's 12:30 my time. And we have an unboxing that I'm pretty excited about. And we have a couple subjects we're going to talk about. What's up, Jacob? I know, we're early today. No live tonight. I have a birthday party, so I figured I'd just do this afternoon because there are a few topics that I did not want to miss this weekend that I have to talk about. Hey, Amy, I might be seeing you soon. I'll be at the farm here in just a couple hours. But we got an awesome unboxing we're going to do here in just a few minutes. What's up, everybody? I was wondering where everybody was. I let it go for about 5 minutes. I was like, screw it. I'll just hit the live button. But a few topics we're going to talk about. And like I said, I do have an unboxing that I'm really excited about. One thing I want to talk about. I'll let a couple people roll in here actually before I start bringing these subjects up. Hopefully everybody's weekend is going well. Talika got his Sabenza in hand. I was thinking about what am I going to carry today for this birthday party. I usually bring a set of knives with me because my nephews like that. Every time when I walk in, they're like, "Did you bring some knives? Did you bring some knives?" So I got to make sure I bring some knives. So I'm gonna bring a little roll of a few knives, but I was trying to figure out what am I gonna put in my pocket. In my EDC pouch, I think I'm gonna carry the hell's this thing called? The Drifter 2. It fits really good, and it's just a nice little gent knife for the pocket, or for the EDC pouch. I'll probably switch my Olight out though, because I got a big one in there right now. Back to my copper one with the beautiful patina. Right now, what's in it is the baton. But this thing is so bright, so it's nice to have that one in there. So I'll probably still bring that because this will probably roll over until nighttime, and we got like a forest nearby and everything. You never know what I might run into, so I might need a bright light. But I thought about carrying my Sabenza. I thought about carrying the wee Esprit too. I don't know yet. I haven't fully decided what to carry. I actually even thought about carrying this damn Kubi. This thing is fire, guys. I'm telling you, man, you guys are gonna miss out if you guys don't get one of these. These things are awesome. This one and the other two are awesome. Even this little guy, like one of the most easiest knives to reverse flick. Very slicey too. So, couple topics since people are starting to roll in here. But right now, what I have on me actually is another Kubi. I got this guy, but this isn't what I'm going to carry to the party. But I got this one on me right now. I think this one's the 321 because there's the KU 321, the KU 122 is this guy, and then I think this one is the 322, the KU 322. What's up, Mike? Hey, read my question. I don't see it. You might have to ask again because it didn't pop up. Oh no, there it is. What time are you going to end? I'm only going to be on here for an hour, if that. 45 minutes to an hour. So it'll be quick. I gotta get in the shower. I got a party to get to. Quespedo is carrying the Civivi Praxis and the Elementum button lock. That was another one I contemplated on carrying just because it's such a good EDC knife to carry. I was going to carry it in because I'm going to carry two. One will definitely be in this, and then my big one will be in my main pocket, my right pocket. But man, I just don't know which one out of all my knives, which knife to carry tonight. I don't know yet. I usually like, and this is kind of weird, this is like on me, I like to carry a flipper when I'm going to be amongst family and stuff, because I know that's an easy deployment option. So when somebody's like, because what sucks more than for you to be excited for somebody to check out a knife and then you hand it to them and they can't deploy it for shit. They're just like, trying to figure it out. It's better when you can just hand it to them and they just go, whoa. And they're like, yeah, that's cool, you know? So I like to have a flipper option available in my pocket. But man, lately it seems like that everybody's been leaning towards flicking and from flippers. Speaking of flippers, this is one of the subjects we're going to talk about, Detolith knives. So I've been getting tons of questions. What's going on with these Detoliths? When are they going to be dropping? When can I get mine? When can I get my Bell Amy? Okay. Well, I talked to them today and I found out that the Nightshade and the Bell Amy will be available. They will be finished with them at the towards the end of the month. So I told you guys before in the review that they were trying to get them finished by mid-October. So they're looking towards now about mid to end October. And another knife too, which I'm hoping to be getting soon, a chef knife from this company. So Kaiser is doing these for Detolith. So don't buy any of those Detolith knives on Amazon. I don't know who makes them. I'm guessing it's probably the same company, but who knows who's OEMing them. Like, buyer at risk, you know, or buyer beware, I should say. If you're going to get one, it's your own risk. I have no idea anything about them. And neither does Kaiser. Kaiser was like, you know, they put their hands out. We ain't got no clue about those. So, because I asked them, like, what's going on with these? But they do have a kitchen knife that they're making, which I'm pretty excited about. I'm going to have that one in hand here in a couple weeks or sooner. And then this one and this one should be available towards the end of the month, which I'll tell you what, man, both of them are awesome. If you haven't watched my review on the Nightshade, watch it. You wouldn't think that this blade shape, I mean, I look at it now and now I think like, of course it's so like awesome. But man, is this thing just so versatile. Actually, we'll use it right now to do the unboxing because we got a big box behind us. But this knife, man, it's like a kind of like a claw where it's like any direction you face the blade or the part of the blade you want to face towards your object is facing. And even when you turn it around and you go to cut a strap, it's pulling back towards you so the rope doesn't slip out and around it. I was cutting straps at work and it just snags them and you can just yank them. It's so good. And then this Bellamy, whatever it's called, Bellamy, I think somebody tried to correct me, is just, I can't even express how awesome this thing is. This thing's beyond awesome. I mean, it has so many different flipping options or deployment options, and it is complete fall shut action. I'm thinking about sending this one over to Lefty EDC because, you know, he's hard to impress sometimes. Like, he will fucking bash something that everybody thinks is just amazing. This one I'm going to send over to Mike Emler, though. I think he will find, like, I don't think Mike or Lefty would see the use in this. I don't think he would see the beauty in this. I think Mike Emler would get this in hand and know right away, like, the beauty of this type of blade shape and everything about it, like the grind and everything. What's up, Claus? But it's spelled Bell. I know. I think it's Bellamy, but it's yeah. I know it's spelled Bell Amy. Yeah. I'm hoping you'll like it, Mike. I mean, if you don't, you don't. But I feel that you would get this in hand, even though it's not a big knife or anything like that. I think you could. Because it does have a deep carry clip, which I know you don't like, but I just think if you got this in hand, you would see the versatility, if that's even a word, for the blade shape. You know, just how versatile this blade shape is. It's so awesome. Like, it's hard to explain without actually telling somebody, go use it. Like, if you have to use your knife for the day to break down cardboard or cut straps or even opening a box, even just opening a box, because the way it's shaped, you can go around the top, the back, and the front without ever changing grips. Yes. That's the word I said. Exactly. So in the review, if you guys watch the review, I show the 3 knives that inspired this knife. There's one in particular. It's literally looks just like this, except for it's a fixed blade, but it even has oh no, maybe it is a folder. they make folding versions and fixed blade versions, but it even has the brass bolster look and the exact blade shape and everything. I mean, it's like almost identical, and it's that country's like go-to for I think like outdoor stuff, you know, like gardening and things like that, and just all around stuff. But how many people we got in here? Let me see. Don't forget to hit the like if you guys do like the content. I know I'd really appreciate it. 38 people in here. All right, screw it. Let's get to this unboxing because we got some more topics I want to talk about. So we got something big here. I gotta only show you guys the front because my address is on the back, and only about 20 of you guys know my address in this chat right now. All right, so I said I was going to use the nightshade, so let's get into it. So I don't know if I should say who sent this. I don't know if I'm supposed to. Hey Jared, I know you mentioned it already, but what Kubi are you highly recommending? I'm highly recommending the 322. It's kind of like a Koenigarius, and then also the 321, the KU 321. And then the last but not least, one more. I know there's 3 here, but I think you should just look at it in size, whatever size knives you like, because all 3 of them are awesome. This one's only Spidey flicking though. And man, it's like the best Spidey flicking knife, but this one is the 122. They all come in multiple different options, like of colors and stuff like that. This one's a front flipper and a reverse flicker. And then this one is a flipper and a reverse flicker. So if you like regular flippers, this knife, man, I'm telling you, this one's fucking awesome. All right, let's get into this beast. It's probably not what you guys think. You guys could never guess what's in this box. Actually, I'd be impressed if you guys probably did start guessing right now, because you guys would never guess. But see how you guys can't see. But like just like how I'm gripping it right now, just bam, it's already to that side. Now if I want to turn this way, bam, it's already facing that way. It faces every which way you want it to, just in a regular grip. Ooh. All right, no peeking. Oh, this thing's awesome. I've seen pictures of it, so I already got an idea. Ooh, okay. You guys can't see what's in there. Okay, cool. It's like Christmas. And all right, you guys ready for the big reveal? Well, I can smell it. It smells so good. Ooh, it smells so good. All right, here we go. Oh, this is so awesome. Someone from the community made this, a woodworker. Oh, that is so nice. Now, there's a surprise, though. Check this out. Bang! That is so awesome. Hell yeah. Look at all them blade shapes. Oh, that is so badass. This one down here reminds me of the Guru. Oh, this is so sweet. So I thought about, because we were talking, like, I don't know if I want to hang it or if I want to put it on the table and like do a knife review on it. It's so badass. You know what? Just for right now, I think I'm gonna bring this fixed blade today with me to the party and do some testing on it. I haven't tested this yet, but all right, here we go. Let's see if this will work for right now. Yeah, you guys can see it. Bang! That thing looks so. You know what? Maybe I should turn the bang side around. So we already have the logo right there right now. Let's do this. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that looks so awesome. Hell yeah. I need a BGM fixed blade and I know, dude. I want one so bad. I really do. Um, what are they, like $300 or something like that? One of these days, I'm gonna get one because I do want to get a knife made to spec. You know. All right, Mike, take it easy, bud. I'm adding lighting to the studio. Nice, nice. I'm actually ordering a couple new studio lights myself because I have only one that has 3 bulbs. So it's one light, 3 bulbs, and it's a studio light. And then I have one other light that I don't use. I don't like it. So I'm thinking about getting 1 or 2 more of these. One of them has an arm that'll actually go like this. So if I want to like lean it over a table, I can. But the tops of them, they turn any direction. But yeah, I'm thinking about getting 1 or 2 more just to make it a little bit more even in here. What's up, Zach? Yep, Saturday morning or afternoon live. No live tonight, so whoever wants to go live tonight, I mean, I guess it'll be all open. I'll be on Ray's podcast on Tuesday, but I don't think it'll air on Tuesday. Usually he records them. But anyways, this knife I am thinking about bringing to my family party today. Possibly do a little bit of testing on it. I have a good wooded area there, and the kids like to mess around with knives while I'm there. So, how many squirrels died for the microphone? Only 3 actually. So less than you would think. No, this is synthetic. You can tell. You can tell it's not real fur. Uh, where's you know what? I actually forgot to talk about that. Not the subject, but to Fiend. I need to I'll call Fiend later or message him. Anyways, some of these subjects. Let's get to them. So, like I said, the Detolith knives will be done hopefully at the end of the month. That's what they're looks like what it's going to be. My brand new Nitro VBGM was 200 shipped. Oh, that's not too bad. I honestly thought it was going to be more than that. I want one like kind of like the size of this one. I don't want a big one. So obviously I want a big knife too. Like I want everything, you know, I want a nice good cleaver, a nice good chopper. But I want like kind of like just an EDC knife around this size, but I want the handle to be a little girthier, just a little bit, so that like I can really bear down on it, but with good geometry. Not this blade shape though, even though this is a great blade shape, especially for food prep. D-Bass or Bass, D-Bass. Jared, you have the best YouTube lives out of all the knife channels. Keep it up, man. Oh, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that so much. That means a lot. Seriously. So Zach did hit 10K, which is awesome. I appreciate everybody who wound up going over there and subbing. That's amazing that he's hit 10K, and you know the sky's the limit, and he's gonna probably notice. At least I don't know if it works for everybody like this, but it seems that once you hit 10K, YouTube gives you a little bit better of a push than you had before. I noticed it. Maybe he will too. I'm not positive. I don't know if that happens for everybody, but I'm hoping so for him because you know he deserves every subscriber and every follower he has. Oh man, no, thank you, Zach. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. I've started using lamina here. It's overpriced and whack laws. Um, thoughts on Condor knife and tool, specifically the makers, Machete, or I don't know about them really, to be honest. I actually, you know what? Stay here. Yeah, don't go nowhere. I'm only walking right over here. check this baby out. I just got this in for sharpening. Seems logical. I'll appreciate this. Oh, wait, this is a condor. What am I thinking? So my thoughts on my thoughts on this thing, it's pretty nice. I think this is G10. I'm not, yeah, it's got to be G10. It almost seems like my Carta though, but I really like these ergos. This is super comfortable. Obviously, it's not my knife. I haven't used it, so I don't know. I mean, it feels like it's really wieldable. All kukris are thicker than a Snickers. Shout out to Everyday City Carry. But it seems like it's legit. I love the size. I'll give it that. I love the size of this thing. It has a really, really good size, really wieldable. Seems like it'd be easy to carry, easy to use, like to chop, especially like light duty stuff, which because it's not like you want or need always a giant chopper. Sometimes you want something that does a little bit of both, where if you need to chop, you can, but if you need to do some lighter stuff, you can too, because it's difficult to do, the stuff that you're probably going to do the majority of with something big. It's really hard. Let that baby sit there. Bang. 1075 steel, mostly in the bigger parangs and stuff. Really easy to sharpen. I'll be the judge of that. No, it should sharpen up pretty good. That one, it's thick, so anything thicker takes more time, no matter what. Like when I was telling you guys, if you guys probably didn't see it, I know it didn't get a lot of views, but I did the review yesterday on this, and that was one of the things I was talking about was, man, it took so long to sharpen this knife because how short it is. And it's so thick behind the edge. Well, that's not why it took so long because it's short. It took so long because it's so thick. But yeah, man, it took a long time to drop. And I only dropped it down to 20 degrees per side. 20 degrees per side. And it's got a bigger bevel than a lot of knives I have at 15 degrees per side. I love 52-100. Tonto BGM quaking after you put your Neevesknives edge on it. Well, easy to strap. You talk about 52-100 steel. Buck Talon does it all. I used to have the whole pack of buck knives, all the fixed blades from the small one to the big one. But yeah, I agree. I think having like something like, doesn't matter if it's buck, Essie, or whatever, but something that can do it all is a really good option for a camp knife or outdoors knife. You always kind of want something big too, though. Something big and beefy for the chopping, for the heavy duty stuff. Because even though sometimes you can get by with your medium size fixed blade, it's just so much easier to have a big one too. So it's nice to have both, one big one, one medium size one, bang, you're set for like the field. Yeah, I think it'll be easy to sharpen. I think it's just because I think people relate the word, and I know you meant strap, but they relate the word harder or difficult with the actual sharpening, when that's usually not the case. That's usually what they mean is time, because difficult, sharpening, right? Yes, there are steels that sharpen better and some that sharpen worse, but the biggest difference is time. Just like with thickness, you can sharpen literally what most people would consider the most difficult steel to sharpen the fastest if it's thin. And then you can have like something like 440C that's super thick that will take 5 times as long just because it's thicker. More steel, 52-100 patinas. I was thinking about letting a knife patina, because normally I'm not a big fan of patina, but sometimes I am, so it just kind of depends. I do love a good etching and stone wash though. My friend is looking for a legit tomahawk. Anyone have any suggestions? I know nothing about them. Just recently I seen a guy who does like custom hatchets and tomahawks, but I can't remember his name, but they were sweet. But I can't remember his name. But I'm sure somebody in here knows. I agree. The hand pressure stay the same if the steel is more wear resistant. You just sharpen it way longer. Right. It's just a time thing. It's like how much time. It's going to be the same difficulty. The difficulty level will be the same. It's just the time will take longer. Now, I do agree though. If you get like a custom heat treat of a really good steel and you're using the right stone, it's more enjoyable to sharpen. Like it just feels good, and it like it's almost, it just removes. It's like it's cutting the steel off of the knife or off of the blade versus another steel that might be softer, which feels like you're just pushing it. And in that case, I wouldn't consider that difficulty. I would just consider it's like it's more enjoyable. It's better. It feels better on the stone. I think he said hatchet, but maybe he's looking at a mix. I cleaned the Sabenza and used Nano 10 weight lube and love how the action feels. You didn't use their what kind of grease is that called? Oh man, I can't even think of it. But the Chris Reeves grease, that's what I use on mine, is the Chris Reeves grease. I've used other stuff, but I actually ordered some of their grease. I forget what it's called. Yeah, lithium or whatever. But yes, taking your time is so important. A few days ago I was sharpening, and I got the reminder myself. And I always preach this. I always say this, not preach, but I always say this, that when you sharpen, sit down with no plans. Sit down with nothing to do and sit down to sharpen. Turn on a show, have a live in the background that you're listening to, just so you're not in no rush. Sit down with nothing to do and just enjoy it. Like take a couple swipes, look at the edge, be very patient. Don't rush any part of it. And then I sat down and I started sharpening, even though I always say that. And it's not that I was rushing, it's that time started feeling like it was taking too long. I started getting the clock in my head and started thinking like, man, this is taking too long. All right. So then I started like going faster. And it's not even faster, but just like started putting more effort. I don't know, not effort, but I was just like, I started struggling basically. And it got to a point to where I was moving backwards, and I went from doing perfect to now I'm fucking shit up. Not like hurting the knife, but you know what I mean? Like where my angle's not being held right. It's a little more inconsistent, just things like that. And I was like, oh man, I gotta stop. I put it down. I said, nope, I'm done. I'm done. And at least I stuck by my own advice by saying, if that happens, stop. Stop and restart later. Even if you have to restart back at square one with your first stone, that's fine. But restart later. Don't continue to frustrate yourself, because I felt myself getting frustrated. I felt not anger, but just frustration and irritate. I was getting irritated, which I don't like that, because I enjoy sharpening so much. I can sit there and spend 2 hours sharpening a knife that will take 45 minutes. Seriously, because I love it. And like I'm sitting there, I'll take a couple swipes and I'll sit there and look at the edge and like gawk over it and really pay attention to the grip pattern. And then I'll take a couple more swipes and I'll look at it again. And then I'll listen to a little bit of a show, and then I'll go back, and I try to make sure I'm not rushing for nothing to do that, especially when it's a really expensive knife. So one of my questions for tonight, because I don't have much written down, but I have a few things, is, and maybe they do, and I just don't know. I don't think they do at all, actually. But why doesn't, we keep screaming about USA made knives, or at least people are screaming at me about it. Maybe not you guys, but people keep screaming at me about it because they keep seeing Chinese knives on my channel. And the only thing I can say back is, where are they? Right. I've probably already reviewed them, but where are the USA made knives that are new for 2021? But it made me think about it. Why don't we ever see Benchmade or Spyderco OEM knives. Why don't we ever see that? D-Bass says, Jared, it sounds like sharpening is therapeutic for you. It absolutely is therapeutic. Absolutely. 100%. I actually sometimes wake up and I'm what's the word for it? Excited about doing it. Like I'll have something to do, like, and I'll be like, nah, man, I actually just feel like sharpening right now. Fuck everything else. I just want to sharpen right now. But why don't we see Spyderco or Benchmade doing OEM work? And I mean, where it doesn't say Spyderco or Benchmade on it, where it just, because like kind of like how Reat does for companies. Maybe they might have a little logo on it somewhere or something, but like if you buy one of their OEM knives where a custom maker has them do some production knives from them, they'll do their knives and it'll be by the custom knife maker, not Reat. It'll have the custom knife makers logos and stuff. But if it's a collab thing, then yeah, it's a Reat knife that's designed by whoever the fuck. But it's just weird to me that nobody goes to Spyderco. Didn't Lion Steel make the Spy Opera? I don't know. I didn't hear that. But I'm wondering more why Spyderco isn't. They have a huge factory. Benchmade has a massive factory. Benchmade has the means to do it. So they could take on, at least, I don't know if they really could, but from a bird's eye view, from looking in from the outside, it seems as if they could take on OEM work. I'm sure it'd be more expensive than obviously Reat, but I've swapped the black scales. I've swapped the black scales from the full black 20 CV and the gray ones from the 14 CV. I don't. Oh, you're talking to him. All right, I'll get past all that because you guys are talking to each other. The contrast is what. Oh man, you guys are talking to each other. You guys ain't even talking to me. Buck will do heat treats for you. Yeah, they have the Boss heat treat. I don't know. I think it would be nice if we seen some of these USA companies stepping up and saying, "Hey, we see everybody going overseas. We are happy to take on OEM work if you guys want to keep it in the States." I don't know. Spyderco's too busy making 1,000 weird looking knives. Well, they have I would think that they would have the machinery and everything to do whatever the design is from the designer or the guy. Like, it wouldn't look like a Spyderco, obviously. It would look like whatever knife that company or that guy or whatever is wanting to make. They cannot keep up with their own demand. Same with TRM. But see, with TRM, I get it, because TRM, they recently started. They're a pretty new company. They have a small factory. They only have their machines, like one or two. I don't know how many machines they have, but they only have so many CNC machines. Spyderco is bigger. Spyderco has been around for 30 years or something. I don't know how long. However long they've been around. They have a lot more ability. And yes, they do have a high demand. But think about, is there a Spyderco you can't get? Really think about it. Is there a Spyderco you can't get besides discontinued ones? No. Like, if it exists, you can get it right now. If it's not a discontinued knife. Like a regular PM2, bang, you can get it. PM or Pair 3, bang, you can get it. A Shaman, bang, you can get it. You can get any one of their knives. So it's not that they don't have, it's not like TRM where they're sold out for 3-4 months at a time. Like TRM, like they actually can't do it because they can't even keep up with their own knives. You will have months in between them being able to make a knife. Okay, Zach Stuff says Benchmade is taxed with current production. Big factory, but they need a bigger staff buildings. Okay. I mean, obviously, I know there's reason, and I'm not like trying to say that they're assholes for not. I think it's just more of a curiosity from me of like, I wonder why these guys aren't doing that, in order to try to keep some manufacturing in the country or some, and I have no problem with some, the guys going overseas. I'm just saying because there are a lot of people wanting to see more USA made knives. So it's not that there's not money there for it, but I do know that there is a limit of which people are willing to spend. And if somebody comes out and says, hey man, I'm getting a bench or I'm getting a knife made, I'm getting my design made, and it's going to be made by Benchmade, and it's going to be $553. Everybody's going to be like, oh no, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. A Benchmade, because that's what, and everybody would say that too. Every fucking person would say that. Every person would say it's a $550 Benchmade, even though it's like it's a custom designed by like Bob Terzola or something. I don't know. Not a custom, but you know what I mean, like a design by a custom maker. Let's make more pooches and less shamans. Pooches. Huh. Maybe we can all chip in and start a US. That's what I'm talking about. The only thing is that there'd be too many. I guess if you had like 5 people, you could do it. But if you had like 5 people that could all chip in a good amount, maybe even do a Kickstarter on the first few productions or first few line of knives, you could definitely get a good startup, something good. Spend the first year investing and not borrowing, but doing Kickstarter programs. You could definitely get something going, because there are a lot of people that would invest in a a small team of guys trying to start a USA company. Guaranteed, there's a lot of people out here that would kick in for that. Shamans were not here. You go. What? Shamans were not. Bang. Here you go. When I was looking, but they are now. They are now. You can get them. I can link them. Maurice. Thank you, Maurice. I appreciate the donation, bud. Thank you so much. Don't want too many eggs in a basket. No, right. That's why I said a handful. A few guys, because it would take everything takes a team. There are some guys out there doing it, just one guy, but it would be better to have a few guys, everybody have their corner. One guy specifically does this, like everybody has a specific job duty, and that's their corner. But you have to trust the people. You have to know these are reliable people and determined people. Like, I would never go into business with somebody that I didn't trust wouldn't get up at 2:30 in the morning if they needed to work, whatever, right? I would never go into business with somebody that I didn't think wouldn't answer my call in the middle of the night if I needed them to, or if something needed to be done and I felt like they would have 4 excuses on why they couldn't. Like, no, like I personally wouldn't. I want to make sure that if I was going into business with somebody, it's somebody who has their heart and soul so devoted into it that it would kill them inside to say no, or say I can't, or to not put forth the same effort that I would put into something. And a lot of people aren't like that. A lot of people, they don't. It's not even that they don't have the driver that they don't want to, because they do. It's just, I think it boils down to like discipline, kind of, but even more than that. But when you really want something, you'll do it. You know who said it best, actually? Jason Knight. Somebody asked him, how can a custom maker start up, right? And he said, if you're not willing to sell every single thing you own right now to buy the tools necessary to, whether it's all your knives, your furniture, whatever, to buy the machinery and the tools necessary to start doing a custom knives, he said, then don't do it, because you have to be that passionate about it. And I understood what he was saying when he said that, just having that drive and wanting to get into it so bad that you can't fail. And when you throw everything into something like that, it's hard to fail. Like if you put in 16 hours a day and all your money and effort and everything into something, it's almost guaranteed to be successful. It just will take a lot of time. US made knives, like it or not, are just out of people's budget. I'd love to buy a Medford, but when I remember the mortgage, I know, and I've said that a lot too, that people aren't willing to buy a knife that costs as much as a transmission, and I get that. AKA knife modders, for example, getting some US work going with MBK. Right. Exactly, Zach. Exactly. I'm so happy for them, man. That's amazing. I was happy when I heard that they were closing their books because I know what that translates to. That translates to we have so much work right now, we can't take on any more without hanging on to your shit for too long, longer than we feel is appropriate. So that's amazing. I love that for them. Tell me you're not hanging out here with just one budget knife, Bill. If you're not willing to put 100%, then don't do it. Right. I mean, I think that should go with anything, but so many people I think have a plan B. And I said this a few months ago that I don't like to go into things with a plan. I used to always go into things with a plan B. Always. And then I realized like how bad that is. And then I heard somebody else say it best. They said you don't want to have a plan B because if you have a plan B, you're already setting yourself up to fail. So that when it gets close to failure, you're already prepared to start setting up for the plan B rather than saying, I can't fail. I have no choice. I have to go all in. That's what keeps you up at night and makes you get up early in the morning or work the late nights or skip this and say, no, I can't do this tonight because I have to do this because you are not willing to let yourself fail. When you have a back door, then it gives you an option to fail. USA made knives all the way. It's a tougher situation for US made knives because China can always manufacture cheaper, especially when they are paying their factory workers. Well, right. And that's why the only way, like, it only gets worse from here, right? It only gets worse. And I have no problem with China doing OEM work or I don't give a fuck. What I don't want to see is USA not doing anything. Do you know what I mean? I want to see them doing something. I'd love for everybody to win, but the more we go over there and send over there, and I'm talking about just like the companies, not necessarily the people buying, but the companies starting up and parts and this and that. But it is a money thing. They can do it for so much cheaper, and people want quality. And if you can't do quality, unless if you charge so much, then it's a lose-lose. It is. And I get it. Yeah. Oh, you probably didn't see the unboxing. I appreciate it. Yeah, we did the unboxing earlier. I didn't want to say who did it because I wasn't sure if that was okay. What's going on? My thing's frozen. Sorry guys, hang on one second. There it goes. You design a folder, Jared. I will buy it as long as it's under $400. I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. I do want to design one. I would absolutely love to design one over here in the States, but I don't think it'd be possible to be under $400, to be honest. And I don't even know a company that would take on work, to be honest. I know overseas companies that would take on the work and do it in an appropriate time and do it for an appropriate price. So I get it, but and like they would actually do it. Like it's easier to get them to do it. You can't get any there. That's why I was talking about Benchmade and Spyderco earlier. You couldn't get them, but you can't get anybody really. especially for any type of reasonable price. It's just not possible. And I get it. I'm not talking shit. I get it. I understand why they can't. I wish they could. And that's why I was saying, man, I almost wish some of these bigger companies that do have the ability. But I was talking to Spirited Blades the other day, and we were talking. He said he was listening to a podcast where Chris Reeves was on, and he was saying, in order for them to bring the I think it was the Nandi to to everybody, that they lost like a lot of money, like $1 million or something, like a crazy amount of money. I forget the amount. That's why I don't want to sit here and say a number, but it was an insane amount of money. They lost that much money just bringing that knife to the people because they had to shut down all these other machines in order to do this new one that, if not for, would have been making this money already. And that is a difficult thing to do, right? It's a difficult thing to say, hey man, you can do this, but it's, instead of it making you money, it's going to lose you money. Or maybe it might make you money in 5 years. Finally, when you catch back up after paying for all the money you lost from doing it. That's a difficult decision to make. Okay, so since a few people are in here, shielded knives. So this was a big thing, shielded knives. So if you guys, this is a Megaron knife. What am I doing? That's a Megaron knife. Sorry, guys. Shielded knives. So a lot of people were making comments in the videos. So what's up, Sergeant? Doing an early live because I can't be here tonight. So shielded knives. Everybody was complaining a few things. So I went to him and I made like some pretty heavy complaints. And one of my complaints was, and I said it outright, and I even said it in a video. I believe I said it in a video. I said it in a video and I said it to him in message. And then a bunch of other people left comments. So it wasn't just me. And because people brought to my attention the clones that were on their website, they are going to remove all of them and separate the shielded knives from whatever that is. Whatever, I don't know if it's like two companies together or if it's shielded knives and they used to do that. I have no idea, but they're going to separate them so that all the new shielded knives that are made of good quality are going to be on their own website. I don't know if they've done it yet. Probably not, because it was just recently, but they're going to do that. They're also going to add the prices on there and everything else. So just know that if one of the reasons why you weren't willing to deal with them was because of the site, and I said that, I said you're going to lose most of the people that would have bought a knife, go to your website and see some clones, especially of people that they know, or love their designs or passionate about that custom maker. They're not going to buy from you. So they said they're going to take them all down. We'll see what happens. We'll see. But only time will tell. You can always mention me. My internet connection sucks today. Sorry. But I'd buy a knife designed by Sure. I appreciate that. One of these days, I do have something. I don't, it's not in the works or anything right now, but I want to really bad. I do want to. What the heck, clones mixed in with the real stuff. So if you went through their page, the first page was the new knives. The second page was their new knives, and then the third page started going into like cheap crap, cheap crap. And then if you kept going, you would run into what looked like clones, not copyrighted stuff, not like them trying to say that it was that, but so much of a stolen design without having the logos that it implied that, you know what I mean? It was bad business. So, and I didn't know that. Until I got the knives. So I reviewed them and people brought that to my attention because I had never went farther on their website than the couple knives that I had, there was no reason for me to keep going for 3-4 pages in, but I know better now. Like that, I should make sure I do that, especially when I deal with certain companies and everything else. Yeah, S45 is pretty nice. I've been impressed with the two every time I've dealt with it. When they have spies in all of our major companies and send them without announced to me, just look at what happened when the spy in NASA, was that NASA, that was sending everything to China. Yeah, we're always going to have that. We're always going to have that. It's, I could say a lot. I could say a lot. It's just kind of one of the things with a free country, and especially a country that does everything that we do. There are good parts and bad parts about it. I would love to. Actually, it was funny because yesterday I was thinking about a couple designs, and it made me think about what would be your first design. Like if you were really going to design a knife, because I almost want to think in my head, like I'd rather design 3 at once. I know everybody would, right? Obviously I'm exaggerating, but it'd be nice to design 3 at once because you could design a hard use knife, a regular EDC knife, and then like, I don't know, like a small knife or like a fidget knife or, something. Maurice, you son of a bitch. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. 20 bones. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing, man. Oh, yeah, we should be by the actual next real live. We should be at 16K, I would imagine. I'm hoping. I got some new parts in, and there's actually a couple more getting. Oh fuck! I have no idea what just happened, guys. Hang on a second. There we go. Man, sometimes I bump something and my whole screen will just go blank. So I got some more attachments for the work sharp. And some of them are pretty good. Like there's one that's coming. I haven't gotten this one yet, but it's coming, and it's an entire base, like to hold down the system. So there's no moving at all. So you don't have to hold it down or anything. That's really cool. And then I got a couple other attachments. Like I got an extension for the stone holder, so you can have a 6-inch stone, because you're gonna find times where you want a specific stone, but you can't find that stone in a 4-inch stone. You can only find it in a 6-inch, even though they make 4-inch stones, but they're not in stock. And it's like, I don't want to wait 3 months for them to come back in stock. I just want to buy the 6-inch one. Well, with the extension, you can do that. Like I did that. So, and the 6-inch works, but you can't use the whole 6-inch stone. Like I said before, when people were asking me about the attachment that Gritomatic is selling, you can't use the whole thing, right? But it's kind of cool, like if you can get like an attachment to your stone holder already to make it bigger when you do need to, but you would not want all your stones to be 6 inches. But it's nice to have for when you do need it, though. Are all the parts such as screws, pocket clips, actually made by the USA companies, or is that not revealed by? No, they're not. Some are, some actually do, some, but a lot of them just can't, because titanium screws, especially titanium, they're really expensive to get made here in the United States. So like even Medford admitted that some of his screws, not all of them, he does have companies like down in Florida and stuff like that makes his screws, but he has to have a line to overseas, which I think he uses Taiwan for some of his screws. He has no choice because he can't get them. Like it's not even like a thing of price. It's of not even being able to find them. So when they run out, because he explained that you'll have manufacturers that do make screws, but they're saying, well, I'm sorry, Benchmade bought them all, or whoever bought them all. Like, there's nothing I can do. I can only make them so fast, and they bought them all. So they have to have things on the back burner. But when it comes to other parts, it's mostly all USA made. And the way it goes for a USA product to be said that it's made in the USA, it has to be like 51% made in the USA. So a lot of these companies say 100%. If you see 100% made in the USA, then that usually means everything's made in the USA. Now, does that mean that they might not have to sometimes, every once in a while, order some fucking screws? Of course not. They probably do, but can you really fault them for that? When you're putting forth all that effort into bringing a USA made product to the market, and every once in a while you have to buy some screws overseas, come on, go fuck yourself. So, shit happens. Medford also uses bearings from China. Spoke about that while ranting about Microtech. Right. I think that's the same discussion. He did that. He said it, I think, in that one, and then he also brought it up in another one, because he's been doing these awesome podcasts lately. I know a lot of you guys don't like Greg, but he's been doing these really cool podcasts. It's funny because when he starts it off by playing some old school rap, some like old 90s shit that I used to bump to. It's crazy. It's hilarious. I appreciate that, Clay. Thank you. Well, hopefully, when I get a Kickstarter going, we'll see about all this. We'll see all you motherfuckers saying that shit. We'll see. We'll see if you guys will put forth the dough, because it ain't going to be a thing where I'm like, oh, I hear it. Here's the knife. Come and get it. It's going to be a Kickstarter program probably, or something like that. Not GoFundMe, but Kickstarter. You're in Florida? Awesome. I wish I was in Florida. Neevesknives stones allow me to go up to like 5,000 grit. The work sharp upgrade kit is like 800 plus ceramic. Yeah. So, okay. So that's a subject that I keep getting asked. So I might as well talk about it here. So people keep asking me, what's better? What's better? The upgraded system for work sharp, or the attachment with whatever stones you decide? So the attachment's always going to be better, because you have the versatility to buy other stones. So if you're looking at it like that, where you want different types of finishes, you want different types of edges, blah 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 blah, of course the attachment from Gritomatic or any type of 4-inch stone holder attachment is going to be better. And to be honest, well, I'm not going to say faster. So diamonds, like the diamonds that they supply, they will cut faster, but you can just get diamond plates for the attachment, for the stone holder attachment. So I can't really argue that. So you could easily get, say, a 50 grit diamond plate or a 200 grit diamond plate, reprofile with that, and then switch to Neevesknives stones. So you have the ability to do a lot more with that attachment. Of course you do. But do you have to get that? Could you get by just with their upgrade system? Absolutely. Their upgrade system's awesome. It works really good. You sharpen fast. It makes a ridiculously sharp edge. Like, arguably their edges are going to be just the same or just as sharp. Now, I think the Neevesknives stones are going to get you a little bit better finish with a higher grit, especially when we're talking about mirror edges. But it's going to be a damn good edge from either one, but you have a lot more abilities, obviously, with the 4-inch stone holder, because you have the option to get whatever types of stones you want, and they're wider and they're bigger. They're going to last longer. So many things. 800 grit is fine unless you care about the Instagram clout. If I want a higher polish, I just use the lapping films. Well, and like Knife Sergeant saying, a lot of knives, you don't even want to take up that high. Like, there's a lot of knives, I don't even go up to 800 grit, to be honest. 800 grit, I don't even go up to. I stay around 600 grit, and that's beautiful. I love it. Like a long lasting edge that is so sharp, so toothy, has so much bite. But there are times where I want a mirror polished edge. And when I do, it's nice to have the ability to do that easily, you know. And with the ceramic from the 800, it's not as easy. Like I even I said this in the thing that they, which I think, what was the one? The original one came with a 3, a 6, and then the ceramic. So what they needed was a 1200. They had a 1200 grit from, so they should have did the 600, 800, and 1200 grit diamond all on one, and then separated the ceramic like with the same stone as the strap or something like that, because it would be so much easier with the ceramic. Now, I'm not saying it's as hard as it was before. It's way easier. You can get a good polished edge with the ceramic from 800. You can. It's just like, okay, when I use my Veneve stones, put it this way, when I use my Veneve stones and I'm transitioning from my last grit before polish, it goes to polish right away. There's no fucking around. Like it just goes to polish because my grits are going so close to one another. I'm not jumping like from 300 grit to 1,000 grit or something, you know. I'm jumping really quick, which is what they do with all their diamond stones. But then from 800 to ceramic, you're talking about from 800 to 2,000 plus. A ceramic stone, especially like an ultra fine, is like 2,000 plus grit. So you're going from 800 diamonds, mind you, diamonds. Now, if that was an 800 aluminum oxide, it'd be easy because an aluminum oxide stones are finer. The grain structure of the stone is way finer than a diamond plate. A diamond plates, they're very aggressive. They cut. That's the beauty of them. The beauty of them is that they cut fast. They remove steel fast. So other stones, yeah, you to go from 800 to 2,000, you could do pretty good with, because it's like and that's the thing with grits. They're not all the same. So you could have 3 800 grit stones and they're completely different. Completely different. You have one that looks like a 1200 grit, one that looks like a 600 grit, and one that looks like an 800 grit. You know, so it just depends on the stone, how old it is, when was it lapped last, like there's so many variables. You know, I have multiple 600 grit stones and they're all a little different, and then I have some that are very similar. It just kind of depends. I just pulled the trigger on an Ultra Tech. Nice. Oh yeah, cool plaque in the background. You like that? We're gonna check it out again. So this is what we unboxed in the beginning. Bang! Neevesknives plaque. And then when we flip it, bang! Patrick made this for me. His internet's giving him some trouble, but oh, I can tell he put in some work. It's awesome, man. It's so awesome. I'm so happy about that. And little does he know, he also shipped me a blankie. And man, it smells so good, Zach. It is groovy. It's really groovy. My whole studio right now smells like woodworking. I love that smell too. I love the smell of like oak in the morning, or you know, just some good pine, like just some good wood. Like you guys know the smell. Even leather. I'm the same way with. I love the smell of leather. That reminds me. Do you still have the Orbit? How much? I do not. That was not mine. That was not mine. But I will say, it's awesome. That thing is, it's so unique. It's so it feels like no other knife I've ever felt. I've never felt another knife that's similar to that. That is an actual unique knife that has the most mechanical sounds to it. The best. I don't mean to get you drooling now, but holy shit, is that an awesome knife? I don't know why they don't still make them. I could see, and the grinds are so thin on those. It's a full hollow too. But yeah, I don't know why they don't still make those. The locking mechanism was really good on it. Like It's weird that they don't still make them. Wood smells are great, leather, and new electronics. I never put new electronics in that category, but I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean, but I've never put that. New car smells, leather, wood, things like that. Yeah, it's illegal, but since France once was a land full of knives, the police is sometimes easier on knife carry. Well, we see what's happening to Australia right now. Go figure. They gave their guns up only like 20 years ago. I'm not saying it's a coincidence or nothing, but ain't it a coincidence? It's illegal to carry a sack or open, but they won't stop you from doing it, except in highly populated places. That's stupid to me. That is so stupid to me. It's a tool. I can't comprehend it or fathom it because I've worked with tools my whole life. Like I could never imagine driving around or being anywhere and not having tools. To me, that is how we build, how we get along in society. We do it because we have the ability to, because we have the tools to do it. When you start stripping those tools away and start calling them weapons and stuff, which I know, like a knife not only was a tool, it's always been considered somewhat of a weapon, but we're talking about openels right now and sacks, literal tools. That's like calling a Leatherman, a weapon. No, that's a tool. How many pocket knives can be sharpened with the work sharp belt system attachment? Well, you can buy new belts. The belts, you just have to buy new belts. But with you talking about like with the box they send, I don't know, 20, 30. I don't know. I just got new belts, so I never maxed it out. I imagine you can do it for a while, but the belts wear out. So, uh, and pretty quickly. It depends on a lot of factors. It depends on how thick the knives are you're sharpening, depends on the steels, it depends on a lot of things, how big they are. So you can't really say how many knives because you could probably do 1,000 openels, right? But probably only 5 kukris or something, like so it just depends. Right, but then the other, I don't know if it was you or somebody else said that they weren't where they were or something like that. I don't know. I'm saying that it's ridiculous to even consider that not though, by any country or anybody anywhere. Um I personally think it's ridiculous to consider any knife not a tool, to be honest. You use them in your kitchen. You use them when you butter your toast. You use them everywhere, right? On a construction site, in factories, you use them everywhere. We need them. Anybody can argue, we'll use a utility blade. It's like, yeah, but then you still have others like on the construction site. It's not like we always had something, some type of bladed object for to do this job, or whatever to do this job. Like there's always other tools like that a utility blade can't do, a utility blade only comes out this far. So like you always have to have other knives. Knives are just a tool. Um Tools by calling them weapons is just creating problems, like considering autos are more dangerous than manual knives just because it moves us to the right. Right. And when you start labeling things, you got to be careful with, you can call them whatever you want, Big Brother, whatever, the government, whatever, calling things, labeling things. When I start hearing newscasts and things, labeling things, I already know it's propaganda. It's bullshit. You're literally trying, because just like with anything, it's kind of like, like when you start labeling people, start labeling whatever. They're putting labels on it because they want you, that's what they want in your mind when you see that or when you think of that. Don't do that. Like that to me is just, it's sneaky, but there's a goal in the end for shit like that. Look what happens in New Zealand with kitchen knife. All tools can be a weapon, right? It's a gray area in Canada. Different cops with different border guards can determine outcomes, and the border guards interpret the law the way they want. Right? That's scary. That's very scary. Things should be cut and dry. Cut and dry. It's either illegal or it's not. You shouldn't have the ability to determine my fate based off of whether or not your wife cheated on you this morning or whether or not you're in a bad mood. Like, most people are scared of knives. I would say most, but I'd say a good portion have been their minds have been manipulated by social media or movies or whatever. But I don't want to put most people in that box because most of the people I know don't even think about it. Like, it's just normal. But I know, depending on where you're at, there's always some crazy barbarian using a hammer in award movies. Hammers are all weapons now. Exactly. And that's what would happen. Like, if literally the world banned knives and said you could only have knives in your kitchen, or only a qualified chef can have a knife. Next would be hammers. It would be. And they would literally, for the next 2 years or next 6 months, every movie that came out would have a hammer being used as a weapon, just to make you start really, every time you see a hammer, you're thinking of a weapon, right? And then they would literally tell you, because there are a lot of murders a year by hammer. I think they're worse than some other things, if you know what I mean. But when you look at that though, or when they take it and they tell you about it, right? Like, you would have never known. You would have never known that Charlie in Massachusetts got murdered with a hammer last night, right? And Susie tomorrow. But now all of a sudden they'll start telling you about it. So now every time the news comes on, well, Maurice from Massachusetts was murdered by his wife Lindy in the middle of the night with a hammer. And then the next day, Tuesday's news. Susie killed Bob with a hammer on the street corner of 29th and Gabriel. It's like, yeah. Ask James Bond. Newspapers should always be overstepping. Ask James Bond. Newspapers should classified as weapons. Right. Exactly. Stripping away our rights every day, every party, every politician. Absolutely. I look at it as whoever's not standing up and doing anything about it is doing it. If you're not standing up and defending it, which I do know there are a lot that are, if not, trust me, we wouldn't have it at all. We literally would not have it. And that's your duty to figure out who those people are that are literally standing in the way of them taking them, But we can't be talking politics. Maurice, thank you for the donation once again, man. That's 3 in a row. Thank you, man. I appreciate the donation. Thank you so much. Mass media are weapons against people. That's what I say. I say the media is a weapon. And I truly believe that. I mean, they've known that since the Nazis. That the Nazis did the same thing. Shit. If you look at what a lot of one side is doing right now, they're actually taking notes from their books. But it happens. That's politics. They should ban axes. Ever heard of an axe murderer? They're gonna fucking ban everything if you allow them to. That's why I always say the one thing I always say: we do not have to agree on anything but one thing. That's the only thing we have to agree on. We can literally disagree about everything, and we can have a discussion about it every day. I don't care, as long as we all agree on one thing: freedom. That's it. You shouldn't be able to tell me what to do. I shouldn't be able to tell you what to do. If you want to walk around with a knife, that doesn't mean I have to. If you want to be able to drink every day, like, there are certain things like if like drinking and driving, like, of course, that is something that puts everybody else at risk. but you can't use that in the same. You can't use that same argument when it comes to pharmaceuticals. Right? You can't use that same argument like with that, because there is still a threat of you coming out of your house. If you choose to come out of your house, you're choosing to live amongst everything else that could possibly hurt you. So, that's why, whatever. I'm not getting into this shit with you guys, man. You guys are going to get me fucking going. I know what you guys are doing. I see it. Wingard wearables and pressed tomahawk design for Megalodon tooth. Let's check it out. I have so mixed minds. I want a knife that looks kind of fancy, big blade, and 2+ opening under 150, but I can't find anything like it. I don't think one exists. I'm sure one exists. But you're saying it looks kind of fancy. Right here. 2+ openings, right? 2+ openings under 150. I don't remember all the details you said, but the Civivi Drifter 2, you have a top flipper. You can also open it like this because the top flipper goes all the way around. And you can reverse flick it. You can technically even thumb flick it, or you can slow roll it. Lots of openings, and it looks good. It comes in multiple different options. This is not the only option, but it looks really good though. There's even a really nice option. There's a slip joint version, but that's not going to give you multiple opening options. What's up, Chris Wolf? Jared, you see a Schatz and a Morgan slip joint? Schatz. What's a Schatz? I don't think so. I don't know what that is, to be honest. I can't imagine it, at least. I probably know what it is. I just can't think of it. I got the Elementum button lock in 14C 28N. Bam. And that edge is what? Shaves hair effortlessly, but it's scary thin. I wouldn't even medium use it. Yeah, this thing, I did the cut test with this one. And the cut test, man, it surprised me. It did better than I thought it would do. It did really, really good. Like really good. You know what though, guys? I'm gonna be late for my party if I don't end this very soon. So we're gonna go for 5 more minutes, and then I'm gonna take off because I got a birthday party to get to. I don't think I had anything else to talk about, but not a big fan of slip joints. They make a slip joint version of that. This isn't a slip joint. They make a slip joint version of this, but you can't put your thumb on the back of the blade for extra leverage without closing it. I know. Maurice! You son of a bitch, Maurice. Thank you, man. Thank you for all the donations. Man, the last few lives, man, he's been killing it with these donations. Just killing it. I gotta tighten this thing a little bit. Damn it. Oh, here it is. Thank you again, Maurice, man. That's awesome. But the slip joint version of this, they have one in fat carbon that looks fire. I wish they would have. They did some weird ones with this one, but not with the plain blade. They did it with their 9CR Damascus. 9 steel best man is pretty sturdy, and the mindset is strong, or the mid stop is strong. There's a really sturdy Civivi slip joint too. Trailblazer XL. Yeah, I got the Trailblazer. The Trailblazer is a very stiff slip joint. Like it has a heavy pull to it, but I think that's what you want with a big one like that, because mine's the full size one. So you want to be able to put your thumb on the back of it without it just closing. And yes, you could push it forward, but you're going to know you did it because it's not like you just rest it on there and it moves. It takes some effort. 14 dummies in here, 73 watching right now, 79 people and only 56 likes. Man. I hear you, brother. There's time. I think. Wait, hold on a second. I hear you, brother. There's time. I think. What did I do? Haha. But we got to keep on keeping on. Stay positive and keep that. Yes, absolutely, Chris. And I think the same thing. I think about a lot of things, man. I really do. But the one thing, but I try not to. Don't get me wrong. I think it's smart to look at the past because it's like, how did we get here, right? If you don't pay attention to what happened, then it's like, how are you going to know how you got here? And then it's like, we're just going to repeat this shit. But it always repeats. John Evans. Thanks for the Saturday Live. Enjoy the Maurice, you son of a bitch again. What are you doing? Thank you, man. John Evans and Maurice, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. But what I was gonna say was that I try not to think too much about what happened. It's how can we fix it? Right? What can we do to fix it? What can we do? How can we make this right? How can we make this better? How can we prevent what we know is inevitable at this point? And if I say inevitable, that means it's going to happen no matter what. But I don't believe that. I think it's going to happen if we continue to allow it. I hate that, and I'm not going to get deep on this, but I fucking hate that we pretend as if we don't run this bitch, that it's not on us, that literally it's not up to us. Like, the let's say the gov only gets away with what they get away with because we allow them, because we let them. Like, we get, man. If we all agreed on what I already said, then we would have no issues. We could argue about everything else as long as that one thing doesn't get compromised. And if we all can agree with that, then it doesn't matter what we disagree with because we can argue all fucking day about it. Because that one line would never be crossed, regardless of what it's about. Doesn't matter what it's about, because as long as we decide that one thing, but because it never gets given back. Never, 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 ever does it get given back. It's not like, they take something and then say, oh, we're going to give it back to you next year. That's not how it works. Hey, Mason, it's raining up in here. Man, I got to get out of here. Thank you, Mason. I see Maurice is already back. Motherfucker. Thank you, Maurice. You guys are crazy. Thank you, man. It is raining up in here, though. Thank you. It is definitely raining up in here. You guys are amazing. This was supposed to be all knife talk, you guys. You guys blew this live for me. I will not be here tonight. I did this because Maurice, are you drinking? Oh, I won't be here tonight. I have a birthday party to go to, so that's why I started this live early. Normally, I have a bunch of talking points for those of you that are joining right now that normally are not here, because normally I do them at night. Patrick Bailey, thank you, man. Come on, you already donated something. If you guys don't know, this is who donated the sign to Neevesknives once again. But normally I have a bunch of topics we talk about that we go through, all knife related. But since it was an afternoon live, we got caught up on the weeds. And then we normally do story time at the end, but we're going to save story time for Wednesday. Like I said, I will be, I do have some people coming on the live soon, and I am going on Ray's podcast from Everyday City Carry on Tuesday. I just don't know when it will air. Patrick, thank you again. My wife put on restrictions, double dirty dog secret probation, so I can't buy and knife stuff, including online money of any kind. Secret probation. I don't know what that means. But I'm sorry to hear that, whatever that means. Maurice is gonna wake up tomorrow and say, what did I do? What happened? Oh, I think Fox did knives like that. Maurice, I'm drunk and almost broke now. Oh man, don't tell me that. I'm gonna feel bad. I hope you're just joking. I hope you're just joking, man. I'm gonna get out of here before you make any more donations because this is getting ridiculous. You are gonna wind up being broke. You're gonna wind up regretting. Hopefully you are joking. I love you guys. Thank you guys for everything. Maurice, one last bell for you. Thank you guys for hanging out with me this afternoon. And I will catch you guys on Wednesdays live, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. I love you guys. Peace.